Morning, guys. Morning, Magda. Superhuman. How you doing, brother? Men of Action. Good morning to you, brother. I saw you getting your workout in this morning. Guys, make sure you check out Dennis over on Men of Action. Guy's an absolute animal in a good way. He spreads a great message. He's got a great work ethic. Unbelievable. Twice a day, every day, right there? Thanks for popping in, brother. I appreciate it. Just getting some dips in this morning, guys. I already finished up with my weighted dips. I did weighted straight bar dips this morning. Sets of 10. Finished those up. Now we're just gonna do some body weight. We'll switch it up. We'll do some body weight straight bar, some body weight parallel. Swing that mace bell a little bit just to loosen up. And just do some split squats. Hope everybody's doing well. It's Friday. Make sure you get your reps in. Morning to Apu. The name's so nice he had to write it twice. Good morning to you, brother. Thanks everybody for popping in. Hope everybody's staying well. It's Friday. We finished up with some weighted straight bar dips a little bit earlier. Now we're gonna hit some body weight sets. We'll go between straight bar dips and parallel bar dips. Swing that mace bell a little bit for the upper body. Get some grip strength, forearm strength. Really, that Mace bell is a good upper body workout. You feel it all over. And a couple of stretches for the legs, a couple of static lunges. Thank you, Tala George. Nick, I guess back at you. I'm not really too sure what that means. I hope it's something good. Appreciate you popping in. Rudra, yo to you. How you doing? Friday morning, we finished up some weighted dips on a straight bar. Now we're just gonna hit some sets of body weight dips. We'll go between parallel bar dips and straight bar dips, swing the Mace bell a little bit, and just do some body weight static lunges. I'm really happy to have you watching, Tala. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you commenting. Rish, what will happen if you take 1 month break from working out? Well, how long have you been working out prior to the break? You know, if you've been doing it for quite some time and you're an old salt, you know, a month off. You have to remember when you do things like this, when you do, unfortunately, it's an unfortunate fact of life, and every one of us has to deal with it. Nobody's immune from it. When you try and exercise and change your body, for most of us, it's going to be 1 step up and then 2 or 3 steps back. So in a month, you're going to regress. You're going to regress to some point. You know, but if you've been working out, you've only worked out for a month, and then you take a month off, you know, it's going to be a wash. But again, why are you taking off? Do you have some type of family obligation? Were you injured? You know, why would you want to take a whole month off unless it's physically necessary? Cheers, Skip. I hope you're doing well, brother. Thank you very much for coming back. Thanks for popping in. And I hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for being here, brother. Michael, I appreciate that, brother, but there's a lot that are much better. I just try and be the best version of me that I can. And that's all we can all do, right? Don't worry about bettering other people because you drive yourself crazy. Don't compare yourself to other people. Compare yourself to yesterday, the day before, the month before, the year before, you know? And none of us are ever going to get to that place where we're perfect or we have no more to learn. We have nothing else in our lives to improve upon. Until the moment you take your last breath, you should be trying to improve on something, hopefully. But appreciate you being here, brother. So guys, we did some weighted straight bar dips this morning. Now I'm just going to finish up with some sets of body weight dips. I'll go between the straight bar and the parallel bars, swing the Mace bell a little bit. The Mace bell is a great upper body workout. Grip strength, forearm strength. It's good on the shoulders, the core. You have to stay nice and tight when you're swinging that around. And then we'll just finish each set with a couple of static lunges. Appreciate you guys being here this morning. Like I said, we finished up some weighted straight bar dips earlier. Now we're just doing some body weight dips, straight bar, parallel bar, swing the mace bell around, and do some static lunges. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Appreciate each and every one of you stopping in. You want to tap that screen, hit the like button, choose to subscribe, even better. If not, hang out and just watch. Throw me a question if you're so inclined, or you can just lurk in the background too. We'll take that as long as you're here. And hopefully at some point today, you'll get your reps in. Do something to improve your mind, improve your body, improve yourself overall, your whole condition. Don't be stagnant. Don't be stagnant. Each and every one of you, you know what you're not doing that you're supposed to be doing. And you know that you're making up excuses for not doing it. And they're pretty lame-ass excuses for most of us. So get up, read a good book, watch a video, learn something today, and just do a few reps. It doesn't have to be 2 hours of exercise. You don't have to go run a marathon. Go out and take a walk around the neighborhood, right? Do a few body weight squats. Get down on the ground, do a few push-ups. You can't do push-ups, do them on your knees, do them against the wall. Do some pull-ups. If you can't pull up, get yourself a set of resistance bands. You know, do some rows, anything. Just move your body. Move your body, and it'll set the tone for your entire day. Con, I am not from Boston. I was born and raised in New Jersey, so relatively close, I guess. I'm about 4 hours from Boston by car. Morning, Arian. Appreciate you being here. I'll consider that. I appreciate the tip. Good morning, guys. So, like I said, we did some straight bar dips earlier, weighted, finished those up. Now we're just doing some body weight straight bar, body weight parallel dips, swinging the mace bell, hopefully a little slower, and we'll do some static lunges to finish up each round. Hope everybody's doing well, getting your reps in. Appreciate you guys that double tap that screen, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Just want to hang out and watch. That's just as well. Just as well, we appreciate that too. Good morning to Old School. Shout out, brother. All right, guys, so like I said, we finished up earlier with some weighted straight bar dips. Now we're doing some body weight straight bar, parallel bar dips, swinging the mace bell, and doing some static lunges to finish up each round. Friday morning. I hope you guys are all doing well. I appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate you guys that hit that like button. I see a couple of likes there. Choose to subscribe. All well and good. We'll take that. If you want to just hang out and watch, we'll take that too. No excuses, guys. It's Friday. So now everybody has that TGIF. The week's over, right? Now I can go and celebrate because I got through the week. But you got to ask yourself, what did you do all week to better yourself? Did you do anything that's really going to better yourself? You know, were you eating healthy? Were you trying to learn something every day? Like I said earlier, reading a book, watching a video, listening to a podcast, something like that, just so you learn something new and keep your mind fresh. Right? What kind of exercise did you do all week? So everybody gets into celebration mode because it's Friday. You know, hooray for me, I made it from Monday to Friday. So now I'm gonna go out and destroy my body, get high, get drunk, eat all sorts of shit food because I deserve it, right? I woke up Monday, I felt like shit because I had the whole week ahead of me. Now I made it to Friday. I got it through, so now I got to celebrate by abusing my body, by not taking care of yourself, right? We all do it. We all do it. You got to change that mindset. It's Friday. You know, if you're a Monday to Friday person that works Monday to Friday, you know, I never was. I was around the clock different days. But my point is, when your work week is over, now you have to look at it as, I have time to work on myself specifically. I put the time in at work all week. I did what I had to do. I made the money. Maybe I can pay some bills now. And if you want to reward yourself, you do something good for yourself. You do something to better yourself. You do something to improve your body, to improve your mindset. Not taking your hard-earned money and laying it on a bar somewhere for a bunch of beer and chicken wings and yelling at the TV like a drunk ape because some clown is running with a ball or kicking a field goal and you're acting like your existence is hinging on this kick. And your whole mood is hanging on what these people are doing by running around, dribbling a basketball, throwing a football. It's meaningless. It's all meaningless. I'm not saying you can't have a pastime. You know, when it comes time, you want to sit down and relax if you enjoy that. I like to watch boxing. I was always a big boxing fan, you know. But I'm not going to I'm not going to be indulging all that shit at the cost of my health. If I'm sitting there 250, 300 pounds and I'm a 175-pound guy and I'm going to be yelling at the TV saying, wow, I hope he gets a touchdown. I hope they win. I hope they go to the playoffs. You might want to do some self-reflection there, guys. And trust me, I was guilty of it for the better part of my life. But it all goes to trying to learn, change your mindset as you get older. Again, none of us is ever going to reach perfection. None of us is ever going to be the best at anything. But what makes us better is the fact that you keep trying every single day. I can't do a pull-up. Well, you can't do a pull-up because you don't do pull-ups. So get to the park, get yourself a set of rubber bands, and start doing some pull-ups. Or do some rows. Start with some rows. Build up your strength. Right? Get yourself a Mace belt. Swing that around. Build up your grip strength, your forearm strength. Very important for pull-ups. It's all a matter of building. Stop looking for quick fixes. Stop looking for miracles. You don't need surgery. You don't need pills. You don't need injections. You need to step back from all the bullshit in your life. Cut out the toxic people, the people that are holding you back, and we all have many of them. And get to work. Get to work on yourself. You're no good to anybody. You're dragging people down by being a worse version of yourself, right? And when I say no good to people, I'm not saying, you know, getting up every day and going doing people's laundry and giving them money. Just to be around them, just to be like a positive influence on people, you know. And the first place you got to start, who am I associating with? You know, that was tough for me. I did it. And I looked around my circle of friends that I had for the better part of my life. And I had to cut them because none of them were doing anything that I wanted to do. I wanted to get better. You know what I mean? Physically, I don't buy into this whole notion that just because you're 50, just because you're 60, you have to have diabetes, high blood pressure, you know, heart disease. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It comes, these chronic ailments that we have are not, they're more a product of our habits, of our consistent habits than they are genetics. But you go to your bullshit doctor and he's going to tell you, well, your father had diabetes, your father had high blood pressure, your father had problems with his kidneys, Aunt Mary had a problem with this, so it's in your family, so you're supposed to have it. Bullshit. Bullshit. And I can't even say that there's not some genetic predisposition to some of these ailments. Maybe there is, there probably is, somewhere along the line. But you can almost guarantee that even if you're destined to have these things, your lifestyle is going to get you there much, much quicker. And on the flip side, if you do the right thing lifestyle-wise, you may ward that off. Nothing's 100%, but you at least have to try. But if you resign yourself to the fact that, look at my belly. Well, see, it's genetics. Well, see, my dad, my uncle, you know, his uncle, and they all had a big belly, so I'm supposed to have one. Right? And then the doctor's trying to sell you some injection for $1,500 a month. And you'll take that, you'll stick that in your ass thinking it's a miracle drug. And you can still go out and have your chicken wings and have your beer. Let me just stick my injection, it's gonna make me skinny. And all along the way, you're just destroying your body. Just totally destroying your body. All right, guys, let's get another round in here. Appreciate you guys being here, tapping that like button, hitting the subscribe button if you just want to hang out. Also, guys, I had a few people asking me, we do have the channel membership up and running. If you click that link there on the bottom, you go to my link tree and there'll be a link to check out the channel membership options. Hope everybody's getting their reps in today, staying healthy. It's Friday. Like I said, if you're a Monday to Friday person and you got the weekend off, change your mindset. Okay, now I have time. I don't have to go to work. I did what I had to do all week. I made it to Friday, TGIF. Now I can work on myself. Now I can hit the gym. Now I can get to the park. Now I can go for a walk. Now I can read that book I've been looking to read. I can learn something. I can improve myself, you know? Because you're gonna go, and if you do what we all do, and I was guilty of it the bulk of my life, like I said earlier, and then Monday rolls around, and what did you do? You did nothing but abuse yourself, and you got a foggy head on Monday morning, you're dreading Monday, you're dreading the rest of the week, you got 5 days ahead of you, and what do? You just look forward to Friday again. Can't wait till this is over. Can't wait till Friday, TGIF. And then you go back to the same bullshit. Again, you know, there's nothing against having some downtime if you like sports. But I did a rant a while back about fantasy sports, you know, guys. And I did it actually once or twice. But I have guys that have been doing this for years and years and years, 10, 15, 20 years. With this fantasy sports. And the key word there being fantasy. Fantasy football. They spend hours on it. Hours and hours. And it's only, what do they use it for? Another excuse to get together and drink and talk about sports and waste time. And almost to a man, they're overweight. They've got the diabetes coming on. They've got the heart issues coming on. You know what I mean? They've got back issues and just everything going on. And they'll put all this time into fantasy sports, instead of reality improving yourself. You know, and everybody cries about time. I don't have time. We all have the same amount of time. We all have the same amount. And time management is a sore spot for most of us. It still is for me. You know, it challenges me all the time. But again, I try every single day to try and just make it a little bit better. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I keep trying, you know? And that's what we all have to do, just every day. One little thing a day. One little thing a day. Just concentrate on it. I'm gonna go today without, pick a habit. Pick a habit that's really holding you back. That you know is bad, that you know you shouldn't be doing. I'm gonna go today without doing that. And try and build some momentum along the way. And you'll get there. Small steps, small steps. Morning, Justin. Thanks, brother. Well, you know what? I appreciate that comment, and there is a lot to it in a lot of ways, but like I said earlier, you know, a lot of us go years and years and years and not trying to improve ourselves. So you could be an asshole at 20 and still be an asshole at 80 and not have learned much through life. So this whole thing, you know, the old adage, you respect your elders. Just because you're old doesn't mean I'm going to respect you. I'm going to respect you if you earned respect, if you deserve respect. You know, I've met 10-year-old kids that I respect, that have a heart of gold, that are just naturally good. You know what I mean? And most kids are. I've met people from all walks of life. I went to a Jesuit high school, a Catholic high school. And some of those Jesuits were some of the worst human beings you'd ever want to meet. You know, so just because somebody's religious or, you know, pretends to be religious or is a symbol of religion, that doesn't make them good. You know, so my point is, you have to judge people individually. Don't paint everybody with a broad brush. Well, because he's 60, because he's 75, well, he must be smart. He must be a good guy. So let me ask him because he knows everything. He might be a 75-year-old asshole. You know? I mean, just because you make it that far, it doesn't mean that you were smart. Some of us make it that far in spite of ourselves. Most of us, for that matter. Most of us make it as far as we do in spite of ourselves, because we do everything. Most of us are doing everything we can, you know. And again, when it comes to our health, we beat the shit out of our bodies every single day with our habits, stress, sleep patterns, ultra-processed foods, booze, smoking, vaping, taking drugs, whether it's prescription drugs, illegal drugs. And most prescription drugs should be illegal drugs. But my point is, we beat the shit out of it for years and years and years and decades. But our bodies try to still keep going. And we always think we're smarter than our bodies. Not one of us woke up last night and told yourself to breathe, and told your body to breathe. You've never broken a bone or cut your skin and said to your body, all right, start healing up. Come on, close that cut up, grow some new skin, fuse that bone back together. You didn't do shit. Your ego didn't do shit. Your body knows what to do, but we think we're so much smarter than the body. And with all the abuse we give our bodies, the body still tries to keep going. At some point, it's going to break down. When? Well, that's going to be different for everybody, because there's 8 billion different physiologies, 8 billion different circumstances. We do have genetic predispositions to certain things. But at some point, your body's got to give up. It's got to give up. You know, and then people say, well, my grandmother, you know, smoked and drank and she lived to be 90. All right, so she was a drunk that smelled like an ashtray. What kind of life is that? Sitting in a rocking chair, smoking and drinking. Show me somebody who's 90 and vibrant, right? And out doing things. That's amazing. I saw a woman online, you know, a couple of days ago. I was flipping around. I think she's 80, 81 years old, and she's skipping rope. How many 80-year-olds do you really know that are skipping rope? They may be alive, they may be breathing, but most of them are relying on drugs and pills, sitting around, you know. But show me that 80-year-old, 85-year-old. I'm amazed when I see these things online. You know, I watch them, and it's amazing what your body can do if you take care of it, you know. No, that's a great point, Frank. None of us are perfect. None of us. So we have to look at our circumstance. You know, even when it comes to exercise. Well, I'm not strong at pull-ups. I'm not strong at push-ups. I can do this, but I can't do that. Everybody's body is different. You know, you have that generalization with women. For the most part, women are going to be a little weaker on the top, stronger on the bottom, right? And it might be the reverse with men. Men might have stronger upper bodies. But that's not to say that there's not women that are absolute beasts, because they work on it. They improve that part of their body. So it can be done, but it's up to us to do it. And you have to put work in. But especially today, you know, everything is instant gratification. Instant gratification. How long is that going to take? How long does it take me to build muscle? I don't know, probably years. So I think you better get started. But instead, you know, guys will be taking the TRT and the HGH and you know, whatever else, whatever other kind of substances they'll pump into their body, not knowing. They have no idea what they're doing to their body. No idea. But I see it every day. Guys online, TRT. Oh, the best decision I ever made. Oh, this is the greatest stuff. Because you feel better in the short term, you don't know the damage it's doing to your body. You're pumping these exogenous hormones into your body. And you don't, again, I'll go back to, do you wake yourself up at night and tell yourself to breathe? You have no idea about the inner workings of your body. You don't know what's going on. All you know is you went to some clinic and some asshole technician or physician's assistant or even if he's a doctor, told you, oh, you're feeling tired, you're over 50, you're over 40, you got a little bit of a belly, you're having a hard time building muscle, and you've probably never been to a gym, or even if you did shit. And he'll give you those injections every week, every month, however often they do it. And you'll be telling everybody, wow, and a lot of guys won't even admit it. They won't even say it. And then the guys that do say, oh wow, this is the best stuff. You got to try it. I've been on it for like 2 months already. It's unbelievable. Well, come see me in 3, 5, 10 years. And let's see how it panned out for you. We put our health, guys, in the hands of people who, you have to understand, like you walk in, I just mentioned the TRT clinic, right, which they're all over the place, or even any doctor. These people don't have a vested interest in you. They don't, because there's an endless revenue stream. Because the day you drop dead, there's going to be 10 more of you. that are going to walk into his office. They don't have a vested interest in you, right? If you do a Humpty Dumpty and you need a good trauma surgeon, you better get to a hospital. Get me to a hospital, right? I need the best trauma surgeon that you have. I need somebody that's going to put me back together. But your day-to-day health, you're going to go take nutrition advice from a guy who has as much training in nutrition as your plumber does, right? Your everyday general practitioner, he knows nothing about nutrition. And most of them are fat and sick. So you're going to go and put yourself in your health in their hands and just believe blind faith. Well, my doctor said. I have a good friend of mine who I've known for 35 years. And one of the most intelligent, well-read, a really well-rounded guy. And he told me he was on a statin. And I said, why are you taking a statin? Exact term. I don't know, my doctor told me I needed it. For what? I don't know, he just told me to take it just in case. Can you imagine? I mean, just because this guy said so? It's unbelievable. And you know, you look at these people like they're deities, like there's some, my doctor is the best. You go there with a cough, he'll look at you, the stethoscope, you know what I mean? He'll look down your throat, turn around, let me look in your ears with that little light, and then he'll write you a prescription for a Z-Pack. And then you'll go home 3 days later, whatever, if you had a virus, bacterial infection, it'll run through you, you'll be fine, and then you'll be singing this, oh my God, my doctor, he's the best. He gave me a Z-Pack, unbelievable. He cured me. Take care of your own health, guys. Take care of your own health. Do the research, it's worth it. Fuck your fantasy football and your baseball and LeBron James, I hope he wins another championship. Take care of yourselves, guys. Take care of your families. That's the most important thing. And I don't want to hear about your big house. I don't want to hear about your nice car, about your Tesla, and about this, and your jet skis, and where you're going on vacation. Because if you're 300 pounds, taking medicine, can't walk up a flight of stairs, getting to the point where you can't take a dump and reach around and wipe yourself. I don't care how nice your car or your house is, you have nothing. You have nothing. Got to take care of ourselves, guys. And it's not rocket science. It's not fucking rocket science. In plain English. You learned how to drive a car. If you work a job, you learn some type of skill, right? You learned your ABCs, right? Hopefully you learned how to read and write. You can learn things. And the one thing, the most precious commodity on earth, we're the most ignorant about, our bodies and our health. Take the one thing that if you lose, you're done. And you'll take it and put it in the hands of some other asshole. Some doctor that tells you, he gives you a prescription for your blood pressure, right? And then you go home and they'll say, I'll see you in 3 or 6 months. And then you go back to him 3 or 6 months later. And your blood pressure is either the same or it got worse. So he's either going to tell you, keep doing what you're doing, which is coming back to me every few months, and I'll just renew your prescription. Or he's going to tell you, well, it got a little worse, so let's either try a different one, and we'll take 2 medications, or we'll double up the dose on the one you're taking. And then you'll go home and say, oh yeah, my doctor told me to take more. He's a good doctor. He knows what he's doing because he told me to take more medicine, right? If you called an electrician because your lights were going out, and he came to the house, and he did what he had to do, and you paid him the $300, $500, whatever it was, and he went away, and a few weeks later, a few days later, he had the exact same problem. And then the electrician came back and he did what he did, and then he left again. Then your lights went out again. Wouldn't at some point you say, this fucking guy's, he doesn't know what he's doing. He has no idea what he's doing. Every time he comes here, he does something and then he leaves. But then I have the exact same problem. And I'm still paying him every time he comes back. Good morning, Kenny. Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate that. Shane, thank you, brother. Kenny, man, we got to drive each other. You guys drive me, to be honest with you. Sometimes I get off the live and I feel bad for you guys listening to my rants, because I get a little crazy with myself. But I do appreciate each and every one of you being here, and I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate the positive feedback with everybody. So that's it, guys. I think we just hit an hour. And I do have to get moving. Trading, pretty much Whole Foods for the most part. Right now I'm gonna go have a nice plate of eggs. Excuse me. A little bit of kimchi, definitely some more coffee. But a lot of meat, fish in the forms of sardines and tuna. A lot of eggs, almost every day with the eggs. Some Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt, skyr, Icelandic yogurt. A lot of fruit, sprinkle in some vegetables here and there. I do the kimchi, fermented pickles and things like that. I only drink black coffee, green tea, and water. Sometimes some sparkling water, San Pellegrino, things along that line. And that's it. Very rarely I'll wolf down a couple of slices of pizza. You know, one of my, a habit I picked up from when I was a kid working in a pizzeria. I've never given up on pizza. But for the most part, Whole Foods. You know, around the holidays, I'll slip back and maybe throw down a couple of jelly donuts. Another one of my, another kryptonite for me was the jelly donuts throughout my life. I love jelly donuts. Ken, this is a small park down. I'm actually down by Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I'm down with my daughter right now. And it's just a small park that's around the block from my daughter. Actually, this little calisthenics area, they just put in last year. I told the story. So what I did was, my daughter lives, actually, you could see our house from here, but right behind me. And last year, I come down here pretty regularly. So what I did was, if any of you guys watch me and you've seen me at home on my deck, on my porch, I have a standalone pull-up bar and a dip station that I bought for home. And when I came down here, I said, well, I'm gonna be here often enough, you know, with my grandson and whatnot. So I ordered up the same pull-up bar and a dip station that I put in her yard. I don't think it was 2 or 3 weeks later, my son-in-law was passing this park here, and they broke ground and they started building this little calisthenics park. So now if anybody wants to buy a pull-up bar cheap. Yeah, trading. And again, this is, believe me, I was of that mindset that I rail against a lot of people. I could eat whatever I want, because for the majority of my life, I was always a slim kid. Then when I started working out seriously, like, you know, when I was 19, 20, I started to bulk up. I got up to about 195 pounds, and I stayed there. And it was a good weight for me because I was working out pretty regularly. But again, I wasn't always eating right. I was making gains in spite of myself. But then my 30s and 40s, everything started catching up with me. And at one point, I'm 6 feet tall. At one point, I got up to 230 pounds. That was about my heaviest I've ever been. Again, if you looked at me, you wouldn't say, wow, he's an obese guy, or he's overweight for the most part. But it definitely was not a good weight for me. I was carrying it all around here. Blood pressure was going up, and just everything. I saw everything started to break down. So I went my whole life thinking, hey, I could eat whatever I want, and I did for the most part. I cleaned it up periodically, you know what I mean? I wasn't like an animal every single day, but I did my kind of version of clean eating for some periods, and then I'd slip back to what I normally did, my jelly donuts, you know, the fast food, what we all do, you know? A little of both, Pixel. You know, obviously I'm gonna cook my eggs every day. You don't wanna pre-cook sunny side up eggs for the week. But yeah, I cook a lot of meat. I'll prep that. and I'll have that ready. I think that's pretty much a non-negotiable strategy when you're trying to eat right. Because if you don't have food cooked, you know, because if you come in the house and you're ravenous and you haven't eaten for a while, like a lot of us get, and you're hangry and you just want to eat, and you don't have food prepped, you don't have good food prepped that you could just throw in a pan, or even, you know, if you want to use the microwave, whatever, heat that food up and just gobble it down, you're just going to grab whatever's there. It's only natural. You're going to grab and you don't care. You're just going to grab the first thing that's available, right? And the vast majority of the time, it's going to be some type of shit, something that you shouldn't be putting in your mouth. So, yeah, I'll cook up like a bunch of beef, some chicken. I eat a lot of sardines, which takes really no prep. You know, I will throw them in I don't cook them. I'll just heat them on a very low flame. I'll squeeze some lemon, whatever, maybe throw some vegetables in, and that really takes like 5 or 10 minutes. So the answer to your question, I do a little bit of both, but you really have to, if your intent is to really go at it and try and eat as healthy as you can. And again, you're not going to be 100%. Nobody's going to be 100%. If they tell you they are, they're full of shit. Turn the channel. Don't listen to anybody that says they're 100%. But if you can make it 70 to 80% of the time, even 70% over the long haul, you're probably going to be okay. Throw in a little exercise, and, you know, and again, start picking out the bad habits, you know, and you'll do okay. Pixel, you know what I do with the chicken? Chicken breast can be tough. You know, I actually like some chicken thighs. Much more flavor there because you have the more fat content. Whereas chicken breast is basically no fat. It's just going to be pretty much straight protein, and that can be kind of tough sometimes. So I'm a big fan of the slow cooker. Really, with any kind of meat, even if you get like a lower grade of like beef, and throw that in a slow cooker, it's amazing what that does to it. I mean, you can pretty much just cut it with a fork after that, at least shred it apart. You know, so I'm a big fan of it. I don't brine the meat. I don't do that. But the slow cooker, you might want to try that if you haven't. Yeah, you're exactly right, Ken. Plenty of water. You gotta have plenty of water, but again, the electrolytes are more important because a lot of people in their mind, they think, well, if I drink a gallon of water, I'm hydrated. Well, really, you're dehydrating yourself because what happens is with plain water, you're going to start pissing like a racehorse, right? And it's not just water coming out of you. You're peeing out the electrolytes. You're losing salt. You're losing the potassium, right? So I've talked about it before. I did a video on it a while back. The three main electrolytes are going to be magnesium, potassium, and sodium. And remember, sodium is going to kill you, right? If you have too much sodium, you're going to have a heart attack. Meanwhile, if God forbid you go into a hospital and you're dehydrated, what's the first thing they do? They take an IV and they start pumping you full of sodium. The very shit they tell you not to eat because it's going to kill you. So I don't have time to go down that rabbit hole right now, but you're right, Ken. I appreciate that. Everybody make sure you get your electrolytes in. There you go, Pixel. Take that tip from Frankie. She's very good at that. She's very good at taking... Frankie's also very good at taking not so healthy recipes, swapping out some ingredients and making it into a pretty healthy recipe. And you don't know the difference, really. And it's boring. It's everything's pretty clean and boring, Ken. It really is. Everything that I just mentioned, it is what it is, you know. You know, again, it's the meat, the sardines, the chicken, whatever type of meat. I eat some pork. I know a lot of people don't like that, but most of it I eat, you know. And then, you know, you can make... People have this in their mind that just because it's healthy food, it's not good. And it's not true. It's not true. You can be so satisfied, you can enjoy your food, and you can still be healthy at the same time. But again, it goes back to what I said earlier. You have to do the work, right? Do the research. Like I said, Frankie took the time and She had an incredible transformation for herself, and she's learned a lot. She's always researching stuff. And again, she'll take a lot of recipes where dessert type stuff even, you know, like some type of cake. And you can switch it up. Swap out your sugar for monk fruit. You know, swap out the flour for maybe almond flour and things like that. But where there's a will, there's a way, just like with everything in life. Cheers, Justin. I appreciate you being here, brother. Hopefully we will see you again. Pixel, give it a shot. Give it a shot. Like I said, especially with the chicken breast, because I know, you know, I have a love-hate relationship with the chicken breast because I've bitten into a few pieces of chicken breast, and it can be like, you know, biting into a rubber ball. So you got to be careful. But that slow cooker works wonders. I would definitely give it a shot. And again, for any type of meat, you know, I'll buy sometimes what they call stew meat, and it's like little cubes of beef, and it's not the best grade of meat, but I put those in there with some vegetables, maybe a few sweet potatoes or whatever, and it's amazing. It really is amazing how it tenderizes the meat. So definitely give it a shot. You know, to lose fat and build muscle, okay, so you got to be doing resistance training, and you got to be getting sufficient protein. Now, if you want to lose fat, eating fat doesn't make you fat. You know, you have to look at what you're putting in your body. But from a calorie standpoint, fat is the most calorie dense, right? There's 4 calories per gram of protein, 4 calories per gram of carbohydrate, but there's 9 calories per gram of fat. So from a calorie perspective, you might want to lessen the fat. You still want to have some type of healthy fat in your diet. But from a calorie perspective, the fat is going to give you more calories. Ken, that's called a Mace bell. And actually, if you go down to that link there, that link tree, and you go onto Amazon, my Amazon link, I should have it listed there if you just want to take a look at it. It has different weights and stuff, and it's called a Mace bell, M-A-C-E-B-E-L-L. Well, Pixel, it's, you know, listen, vanity is always going to play a part. We all want to look good. Every one of us does. So, and again, anybody who tells you they don't want to, they're full of shit. Be the best version of yourself, and you'll attract the right people into your life. Don't be doing this saying, I want to look good because I want to get that girl, or I want to, you know. If you're the best version of yourself, you're going to turn yourself into a magnet, and the right people are going to come into your life. All right? So, guys, I hate to cut it short, but I really have to get going. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Have a great weekend. Hopefully, I'll see you over the weekend. Everybody get your reps in. Stay healthy. Stay safe. And I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.